lot. And then, like 4 hours later, I'd be at the top of the list or second, but I always had to like relearn it. I couldn't come back and be number one. I always had to like get back in the groove kind of, but.
And for me, those 4 hours were like that. And it was like,
oh yeah,
shit.
I know. It was that.
Hey, I got to tell you, I just started the recording. I forgot to start it. I don't know if we got any of that stuff, but we'll just keep rolling.
No, it's probably for the best. No, that's good.
What about movies that were made in the past that you think reflect today pretty well?
A lot of 80s movies were anti-corporation, anti-rich guy, and that was ahead of its time in a way. It's weird because like the 80s were all about excess and everything, and everybody wanted to have money, but at the same time we wanted to hate the rich too. So it was this weird juxtaposition. So like, but a lot of movies in the going back to William Gibson, in Neuromancer, he just took the future that he saw big business, in the Reagan era. He saw it like, what if he took that to this next degree and made it that the corporations are like governments almost, and I think that like any movie like that that has that kind of punk versus corporate kind of thing, like that, like Hackers and stuff. I don't know. I think that comes and goes. Like that mentality wasn't really popular, say, in the early 2000s. Like people really weren't that worried about corporations and stuff. Like we went through a weird cycle. It was almost like it was weird. We just went like, because we were against them, and then Pepsi or something started happening, and we love Mountain Dew, and they're like everywhere you look. And there was in video games like that one game, Jet Moto, where there's like Pepsi ads in it. Like you just kind of like accept it. You're like, okay, this is my world now. There's ads for Mountain Dew in a video game, and it became normal, and then and it never goes back. It just keeps progressing. So the next thing on PlayStation 2, you'd have a whole racing game with like real ads. There's a point where like the game designers just went out and like got Gillette and everybody to like be in the game, and that became normal. And I think I don't know. I think it might. I don't know. I just hope people kind of like watch and pay attention to what's going on right now.
I feel like we kind of took a cultural nap right around the time that Survivor and the first reality shows like Road Rules and what was that MTV one?
The Real World.
Yeah.
No, The Real World. There's a whole theory by Chuck Klosterman about the real world and like how it created these archetypes that didn't exist before it existed, and then after that you'd see them everywhere in movies and other shows, like a lot of like nerd, jock, different genders, different homosexual, different types of like people that in ways you'd never seen them before on the screen, I guess. And then after that it became like commonplace. Like in the Real World was the forerunner of that. The whole reality TV, like I don't hate on reality TV at all. I'm not one of these people that thinks it's beneath us or something, or I look down on people that watch it. I think it's very interesting, and I think it could be analyzed, and it's a really interesting, like intellectually, when you look behind what's happening in it, and it's sort of like a like something you could just gaze into and see a situation that you get to judge it, and you're kind of omnipotent, like you have all the information, and you can hear everyone's side of the story. I don't know. It just feeds on a big like couple of things that human beings are into, and maybe because we were so comfortable, that's what spawns it. I mean, it's definitely like a hierarchy of needs thing where, if you're comfortable and everyone has money or everyone's, okay with what they have and they're not too worried about life, now let's, put on some reality TV. It is like the ultimate luxury and the ultimate, I don't know, like
Yeah.
escape. But
Yeah.
there's no message really though. It's not hard to watch. It's not it's indulgent, and it makes you feel pretty good about yourself, I think, because it like lets you identify stuff that is like tasteful. I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like you can be like, oh, I like that girl or that guy, like she looks great, or like you identify with her or her style or something she says or her attitude, and now it's almost like you're her, she's you, or there's like this weird, like if you guys were to hang out in real life, you would be best buds or something.
How are things going down in Portland? You obviously.
Oh, I haven't gone down. I haven't really left Seattle. I was really upset I didn't get to go to the most recent comics thing convention that goes on like every couple months down there.
Yeah.
I've gotten really lucky and just randomly decided to go down on weekends where it was already happening, so I can't be too upset. But it's one of my favorite VHS swap meets to go to. And last time I went, we just scored so much. And, like me and my buddy Andrew have a blast. Like he's friends with a lot of people that sell there, and we just walk through and talk to everybody. And it's in like an Elks Lodge, and it has like a bar attached to it. So after we get all our scores, we go over and get like some glasses of whiskey or some beers, and we just sit and go through our stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like a ball.
It's a fun time. And yeah, that happened a couple weeks ago. I haven't been down maybe about 3 weeks. My buddy Ben, who just did an interview the other night with me and Ben and Mike on VH Quest podcast.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah, so I was down. He came up to visit me rather. I think, yeah, like in February, and we drove down to Portland. I saw my buddy Andrew. And that's the last time I've been to Portland. I want to go before my birthday. I want to go for my birthday in July, but I'm gonna try to go before that because there's some good places to buy tapes down there. Good thrift stores down there.
I got to make it down there sometime. I really want to go to comics thing. Sounds like so much fun.
Oh yeah, you'd love it. They have a heavy metal DJ, or at least they did one time. He or she, I can't remember, was playing just like records, like vinyl records of like death metal. It was great.
Oh wow.
Really cool. Yeah. And they have local comic artists too, so you go buy zines and stuff.
Yeah.
And they have guys there that just have like cardboard boxes just full of videotapes just on tables, and it's the real deal. But
so go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask you, so what's your current impression of the whole VHS wave and the bubble?
The bubble, yeah. Oh well, I compare it to other bubbles that I'm aware of, at least like worlds I'm connected to. G.I. Joe, is experiencing a huge bubble right now.
You don't say. You mean the original line or the modern ones too?
The 3 1/3 or whatever action figures from 85 or 82 to pretty much like 90 something, 93. At one point, they're not really valuable anymore, I think, but like that original line, especially the ones from like 88 or 89 earlier. ARAH, A Real American Hero. You can look it up on eBay. Parts, people selling parts off of the vehicles and spare things, and you could you get something in the box like a sealed vehicle or a character, a guy like you can get a guy like sealed in the box between $40 and $200.
Wow.
And then the other stuff is exploded. Like Ghostbusters is blowing up. I'm trying to get some of the original Ghostbusters toys, like the fire station and the proton pack and stuff. But that stuff just goes for hundreds of dollars because it's just people want it. I don't know. So I think as long as people like want this stuff, I don't think there is there's a bubble for sure. I definitely don't see it going away. Just from prices I've seen on eBay, you still get lucky. You're still going to be able to score stuff sometimes when people just want to get rid of it, or it's reached a thrift store or something like that. But I don't know. I think there's like certain tapes that like at some point might be very scarce.
Oh yeah, I totally agree.
Even now there's tapes that fetch over $100 and even more than that. But I think the ones that you probably could have gotten for 40 or $50 a couple of years ago are in the 100, up there a little higher. But who knows? I think there's always going to be people that think that it's cool, it's worth collecting. I wonder, a lot of my tapes I haven't had super long, but I've always wanted them and I've known of them. And I think I just recently just had the desire and the ability to just get them. I'm looking at my sci-fi collection right now, and there's a lot of stuff in there. It's taken me a long time, a couple of years at least. But I don't feel the desire to get rid of them. And I'll probably always have them, and I wonder how many collectors like feel that way. At some point, like maybe I would sell, like, I don't know, maybe a whole section. There's certain sections of movies that I collect, like fantasy or action or thriller, where I might be able to thin it out and get rid of some stuff. If I ever did that though, I think it'd be fun to sell stuff as like a set or like just the collection. I think it's I don't know, it's just kind of worth more to me, like on its own, like if I sell it all as a whole. But yeah, I don't know if I wouldn't say the bubble has burst, just because personally, and I know there's a lot of people out there like me, I definitely haven't stopped collecting, and there's still certain types of tapes that I really want to get in my collection. Though I do feel the need to kind of thin it out at the same time. Like if I were to start collecting like big box MGM book box or whatever tapes, my buddy Andrew's got a nice fat couple rows of them, like in a bookcase. They look so good.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And like whenever I go to his house, I'm just like, it renews in me this desire to like, you're not there yet. You got to keep going. Like, you have to get to this point. Like, when Ben came into my room and saw like the amount of tapes that I post on Instagram and just that I own or whatever, like it looks like a lot, but in my room it doesn't look like that formidable. It's just like 2 bookcases, and then I have some bins of stuff, and then down at my parents' I have another couple of cases full. So I mean, I have more spread out maybe, but like you go to my buddy Andrew's living room, it's just floor to ceiling, and he's got him like put into like in the smallest way possible. He's just crammed full, like bursting. Like his roommate is just like, kill me.
No, that's what happens if you're not careful. It goes fast.
Oh yeah, no, like one of his roommates yelled at him because he had a bookcase in front of a bookcase. Oh no, it wasn't. It was one of his friends. It was one of our mutual friends. He was like making fun of him because it's like, why? Yeah, he's like, you can't even access the stuff behind the book. Yeah, but that's the collector's life, I guess. I don't know.
Well, that what you just said about going to your friend's house and seeing his collection and that sort of triggering in you the motivation to keep going and expand your collection. That's the kind of feedback and cultural swelling and support and motivation that I just see on Instagram and everywhere now, just ramping up like crazy. I mean, yeah, in my opinion, the bubble is not bursting, but it is growing like crazy.
Yeah, it's interesting that I feel like there's the people that want to get in and like post for likes and stuff, and that's fine. But the people that have been doing this for a while, I can't even attest to being like, I'm not that person either. I'm not an OG. You know, I've unfortunately, like, I do a lot of, some of my tapes I've had since they came out. You know, I bought them when they came out, but majority I've gotten recently just because I wanted to catch up, honestly. And like, I knew that some of the stuff I never saw when I was a kid, or, you know, when I was young. And if I had seen it, I definitely would have gotten it. I definitely would have liked it when I was younger. It's always cool to find something that you're like, whoa, like this is exactly the kind of thing like I like wished was out there or something, and like I finally found this movie. That kind of like exploration, I think, is what drives me. So I'm in that camp where it's like, you know, the next time, yeah, oh yeah, I got this in Japan. This is a speed racer, a sake cup from like the 80s.
Yeah. Oh, awesome!
Yeah, I have a little set of two. Okay, so this it's called Tenchi no Tamago, or Angel's Egg. So this movie is really interesting. It's the same guy that did Vampire Hunter D and Ghost in the Shell, right?
Awesome.
Right. Right. Probably my two favorite. Came out in 1985. It's surreal. It's weird. It's almost like one of those like French animated movies, like The Time Masters or something. You know, there's barely any dialogue. It's almost like that game, Eco.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like long periods where like there's no dialogue. There's like vast rooms and like cool canyons. You know,
it sounds
beautiful.
Awesome.
It's awesome. Unfortunately, it was so poorly received that whoever, I can't remember the guy's name, he couldn't get work for like a year and a half after he made it because nobody really understood it. It was really just strange. Apparently, it's supposed to be because he was struggling with his loss of faith in Christianity. I don't know how that, because I watched this movie with that in mind, and I did not come to that conclusion at all.
See it?
But yeah.
Well, that sounds really interesting.
But yeah, and next time we have one of these tape swaps, I'll bring it and loan it to you, or I'll point you to a way that we could watch it, because I think you'd like it a lot. It's definitely what you're looking for. It's an obscure 90s anime from, you know, the creators of anime that we already respect a lot. So like when you find a movie like that, you have to like it. So yeah. I just want to say, like, I on a personal note, I know some of the family involved in that story of the Manson situation, and like I grew up around them in California.
No kidding.
Yeah,
wow.
and in a lot of the places in that movie I've been to, and like my dad took me to Musso and Frank's when I was a kid. But overall, like the connection between a lot of the true crime Manson kind of stuff that's been in other movies and shows, like Mindhunter. It's just interesting seeing it in popular culture again. But yeah, I want to talk to you about that at some point, because
that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Well, before you take off, is there anything you want to? I mean, I'm going to chop some of this up, put it on YouTube. Is there anything you want to plug? You want to tell the fans at home what to check out?
Well, no, not this time.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold off this time because there's a few things in the works, and I think we're gonna wait for there's gonna be another episode of VH Quest coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure when the editing's gonna be done on that. So as soon as that comes out, I'll plug that for sure next time.
Awesome.
But it's not out yet.
Right on.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Well, it was really awesome talking to you. Thanks for making time.
Yeah, of course.
No, it's a work night and everything.
I'm gonna get a little setup going on.
Oh, do it, man. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and so we're working from home now, huh?
Yeah, for the foreseeable future, it seems like.
All right. Well, hang in there, man. I'll see you soon.
All right, sounds good. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.